Hello everyone. So kule video we'll just cover the solutions to activity 8. This is 11 marks, so it should be like a quick exercise. Okunye ngithanda unikhumbuza kona ukuthi isection le yama functions ilula. So mawupractice zama ukuthi upractice under exam conditions. Uzama ukuthi ube fast and accurate. So yeah, okay, so sine question the sketch below represents the graphs of f and g. A is that point on the graph of f, p is a turning point of f, the asymptotes of g are represented by the dotted lines, the graph of g passes through the origin. And then question 5.1 says determine the equation of g. G is this hyperbolic function. Ne? So to determine the equation of g, it means we need to find the values of a, b, and c. Okay, so 5.1, we need to find the values of a, b, and c. Lapho g of x equals to a over x plus b plus c, right? So to determine the value of b, we need to look at the vertical asymptote, right, which is this dotted line here, this vertical one, right? We see that this line passes through x equals to 1, which means the equation of our vertical asymptote is x equals to 1, right? So if the equation of the vertical asymptote is x equals to 1, we should have b to be equals to -1, such that lapha ku numerator ku denominator will have x minus 1, and then when you put 1 you will have undefined, which is why we have x equals to 1 as our vertical asymptote, right? And then the horizontal asymptote is this one. The equation of the horizontal asymptote, we know what it's y equals to 2, and then which means the value of c will be 2, right? The value of c will be 2. So what's remaining now is to get the value of a. So now our equation is g of x is equals to a over x minus 1 plus 2, right? So now we need to solve for a. In order to solve for a, they told us that the graph of g passes through the origin. So we have this point here that we can use to determine the value of a. So the graph of g passes through the point 0, 0. So if I substitute y being 0 and x being 0, I will be able to solve for a, right? So we are just substituting this point into our equation, right? And then now we can solve for a. So from this I say that minus a is equals to -2, which means a is equals to 2. So now our equation is g of x is equals to 2 over x minus 1 plus 2, right? And then now going on to 5.2, they want us to determine the coordinates of p, the turning point of g, right? Notice that we have the vertical asymptote of g as the axis or the line of symmetry for the graph of f, right? So the vertical asymptote of g divides the graph of f into 2 equal halves, right? So now that we have the equation of the vertical asymptote as x equals to 1, it means the x coordinate of f will be 1, right? And then what we need to do next is to find the y coordinate of p, right? So to do that, let us just write down our equation. F of x is equals to x plus p squared plus q, right? So we set the equation of the vertical asymptote is x equals to 1, and that vertical asymptote of G is also the axis of symmetry for F. So that means the P will be equals to -1, right? So now we will have our equation as f of x is equals to x minus 1 squared plus q, right? Mhlambe abanye benu bangaba confused ukuthi why do we have p as -1 and not 1. Remember, mina ngithe I prefer to use a quadratic equation yale form x equals to f of x equals to x minus p squared plus q. So I know that if my equation is in this form, then the coordinates of the turning point will be p and q. So now if this is my equation f of x minus 1 squared plus q, I know that my turning point will be 1 and q, right? So yeah, to have my quadratic equation in this form, I know that I won't be confused to do I put p as a negative or a positive number, right? So for me it helps to have the equation in this form, right? Yeah, but then if when you are confused, then that's not a problem. So now we need to determine the value of q. To determine the value of q, we'll have to use this point and substitute into our equation, right? We have to use the coordinates of a. So lapha a, when x is 5/2, y will be 0. So which means we will have 0 equals to 5/2 minus 1 squared plus q, right? And then solving for q, you will see what q is equals to -9/4. So now the coordinates of p will be 1 minus 9/4. Okay, and then see I go 5.3. But it write down the equation of the asymptotes of g of x minus 1, right? So this is a horizontal shift of the original function of g. So here we are shifting the graph of g 1 unit to the right. So this vertical asymptote will also shift 1 unit to the right. So from 1 it will go to 2. Right now it will be here, and then the horizontal one will not change. Will only shift the vertical one 1 unit to the right. So it will go from x equals to 1 to x equals to 2. So our vertical asymptote will have the equation x equals to 2, and our horizontal asymptote will still be y equals to 2, right? And then lapha 5.4, but write down the equation of h if h is the image of f reflected about the x-axis. So if we're reflecting f about the x-axis, we'll get h, which means h should be equals to the reflection of f about the x-axis is minus f of x, right? So the equation of f is from lapha we know what q is -9/4, so f of x is equals to x minus 1 squared minus 9/4, right? So here my equation will be we are reflecting this about the x-axis, right? So I'm multiplying this by -1. Here my equation will be h of x will be minus x minus 1 squared minus plus 9/4, right? So yeah, this will then conclude our revision exercise for quadratic and hyperbolic functions. And then for you ukuthi umaster this section kumele ungagcini la, qhubeka wenze ama past papers under exam conditions. So kuma past papers select ama question lawa eba anama functions and graphs, and then practice ngawo under exam conditions. And then if you practice under exam conditions and then after uzimakele, that will sort of boost your confidence ukuthi mawufika ku exam you'll know what to do, and then you'll be used to those exam conditions. Now uzokwazi ukuthi okay, i-exam mina nangifika kiyo ngi-approach so, because you've been practicing under exam conditions. Okay, so yeah, that will be it for this video.